Hi, Joseph Rittenhouse here. Welcome to Huntington Beach, California. This introduction is going to be quick because it's a long video. What you're doing is you're following me on a trip that I took from Los Angeles, California, all the way to the east coast of the United States, to Daytona Beach, up to Savannah, Georgia, and then back across the United States. It took me 21 days. It cost me $1,272 to do that trip. I was sleeping in my car for the most part. One day I did sleep in the hotel. Take that $1,272 that it cost me to do this trip, divide it by 21 days, and you'll get $60 per day. That's how much it cost me to sleep in my car and travel across the United States. Great trip, learned a lot, saw a lot of wonderful things. Take that $60 and then multiply it by 31 days. Take those 31 days, multiply it by 12 months. What you come up with is $22,000. So what's the point of doing this? Just remember that to sleep in your car and travel around the country non-stop will cost you $22,000 per year to live that sort of lifestyle. Why is that important? Just some numbers to play around with in your head. You know, I live in other countries. The cost is not necessarily more than it would cost to live in the United States. I live in my car, but it's not too expensive to really enjoy the whole country. Yes, living in my car is an unusual way to live, but think about it this way. Think about it in a couple different ways. Living in your car, you live in one of the greatest countries in the world, or at least I know how wonderful the United States is. And so it doesn't bother me to sleep in my car for the sake of building my capital to continue to purchase more rental real estate. And that's what I'm doing. My top priorities are freedom from freedom. Wake up when I want to wake up, go where I want to go when I want to go, to learn. I want to be traveling, I want to be getting a lot of input into my mind. The more things I can put into my mind, the more creative I can be. So for me, freedom and creativity and learning interesting things is top priority, not where I sleep. The point I was going to make is we live in one of the greatest countries in the world. You, if you're an American listening to this, if I were to offer, say, someone in country X, a foreign country that's not so great, and I told them, you can live in America, but I have one condition, you have to live in a car. How many people do you think would say, I'll take that bet? You mean I get to go to America, but I have to live in a car? All the great things I've seen about America, all the opportunity in America, I'll go sleep in a car? Sure, I'll take it. How much you want to bet I could get a foreigner to sleep in a car if they could come to America? So that's the kind of perspective I have. I think about it as, I'm in America, I'm sleeping in a car. Other perspectives that you might want to consider is, sleeping in a car is better than sleeping in a tent. I'm not a tent person. I don't like sleeping in tents. I think it's dangerous. You smell weird, you smell like dirt, and you get wet and stuff like that. So for me, personally, sleeping in a car doesn't bother me that much. So enjoy the video, just something to consider. Go along with me on this journey. Get used to calculating your living expenses in different places, different countries, different environments. You don't need to have a house. You don't need to have a new car to enjoy your life. And on this journey to growing my wealth, growing my net worth, I'll do whatever it takes to, number one, be free, number two, learn and enjoy and get experiences from around the world. And so it doesn't really matter to me. If sleeping in a car bothers you, I've got some news for you. You got a lot more difficult challenges coming up, because if you're going to be trying to work and save your money and purchase rental real estate, and you're going to try to not work, you've got a lot of explaining to do. Your friends, your family, society, they're not going to accept this sort of weird life that you're trying to do, because that's weird. Most people live in a house. Most people have a job 9 to 5. Most people will never be financially free. Most people will work their entire life. So if you're trying to do anything that is unusual, you're going to get resistance. You're going to get resistance from your friends, from your family, from society, every step of the way. Think about it. Living in a house. Someone makes money off of you living in a house. I do. I am a landlord. I want you to live in my house because you pay me, and then I go off to Vietnam and enjoy Vietnam. So of course people are going to say, hey, you should be renting an apartment. Oh, no. Apartment is bad for you. You need to be buying a house. Oh, you're driving an older car? No. You need a newer car. People are all making money off of you with all these things, so you're going to get resistance every step of the way. I'm a little bit different. I'm a landlord. If you don't want to live in my house, I get it. But just remember that someone is making money off of you renting an apartment. Someone is making money off of you buying a house. Someone is making money off of you
buying a newer car, leasing your car. And
To me, I don't want people's hands in my pockets. Most important is my freedom and learning. So follow me on this trip and enjoy.
yeah, I do like that.
There's Page, Arizona up ahead. The sun's going down. It's gonna get dark. Ideally, sleeping in my car, I want to have the car organized and cleaned up before it's time to go to sleep. So say for example I get to Page and I want to go to a cafe. I can go to the cafe and I can study until 10, and then I can just come out of the cafe and go right to bed. You don't want to be fiddling around in the dark trying to organize things in the cold, and it's nice to be able to just come out and go straight to bed. I'm in the Walmart in Page and gonna get something to eat before bed and do a couple laps around the Walmart before I go out to the car to go to sleep. I'm in northeast Arizona in Apache country, just left Navajo land, and now I'm in Apache land, about to go into Hopi land, Hopi country. Wash my hair, just do a spot wash. You can get a hotel every once in a while if you're sleeping in your car, or you can take a $5 shower in a truck stop, or my hair gets pretty oily, so I just wash my hair. Do a spot wash. Pick some beautiful spot. It's kind of funny, you know. World's most beautiful bathroom. It teaches you to appreciate warm water. I like to find a truck stop with some Wi-Fi. The car will be easy to sleep in tonight because the way I cleaned it up today, it's easy to just unroll everything and close up the windows and get right to bed pretty quick. Once you get a system down, you can get in and out of bed quickly. Okay, I've pulled off and I'm ready to go to sleep tonight. Everything was pretty easy to unfold. Sunrise in eastern Arizona, almost to the New Mexico border. A cold night. This is the best part. Got my green tea, got my coffee. A lot of truck stops, gas stations, they give you free hot water. So if you have tea leaves, there you go, you got your tea for free. I try to time it so that I'm driving over vast areas of nothing to look at during the nighttime. that during the daytime I'm really making best use of my time and I can see some interesting things, interesting places. I'm in Dallas, Texas, meeting some other property investors. Got a $50 hotel. Kind of reset myself, go have some dinner, also get a good shower and good sleep. I stay inside as long as possible. I check in as soon as possible and I check out as late as possible so that I can get the full refreshing effect of having my own privacy and comfort of your own little space. I'm gonna get back out on the road now. It was a good dinner last night. Met a lot of successful, interesting people, other property investors, very smart people. I like to try local food that we don't have back home in California. Ice creams and different foods and different drinks, different candies and stuff. My windshield wipers are falling apart. My car was sitting for 7 months when I was overseas. I'm in between Shreveport, Louisiana and Vicksburg, Mississippi. I'm gonna go see where the siege of Vicksburg took place in the Civil War battle, and slept in the car, and all I had to pay for was some coffee for $1.90, and I filled up my tea for free. So for me, I like the feeling of thinking, wow, I get to see the siege of Vicksburg for $1.89. That's how I think of it. Gas is pretty cheap over here too. Right now it is $1.99 per gallon, and it is December 2018. Wait, $1.93 over there. No, the LEDs are out. Yeah, $1.99 for a gallon of unleaded. Okay, I'm gonna go see the siege of Vicksburg now. This is my first time to a Civil War battlefield. Really, really cool. I travel so much other countries that kind of forget that I have my own history and spend so much time learning about other people's history. The Union soldiers were here. They'd have a lot of concentrated fire, and the Confederates spread their cannons out. So if the Confederates would fire their one cannon, the Union multiple cannons would take it out. We have this driving tour at Vicksburg. You can drive through the battlefield.
A tall granite monument some 650 to the west. Most of the guns of de Golyer's battery could hit targets from 1,600 to 1,800 yards away. After Union forces failed to take the redoubt by storm May 22nd, Captain Samuel de Golyer established his battery on May 25th to pound.
I'm at the Vicksburg Civil War Battlefield Cemetery, and funny thing is, usually I'm one of the youngest people at these places because it's me with other retirees, and also I get to stay usually longer than them. I get to really walk slowly, and if there are younger people, they're usually just passing through quickly. They don't have a lot of time. They have to be back to work on Monday, and me, I get to just really go slowly and absorb the full implications of the parks that I go to, really absorb the emotions and the ideas of the place and take that with me, so I get the full power of these places that I go to. Always fun at truck stop like Love's, and usually I don't need Wi-Fi, but today I paid the $6 for 24-hour Wi-Fi. You can eat and just hang out here and take care of your paperwork. They're open 24 hours. Get coffee, take a shower. For $12 to get the shower. Something like that. It's nice and clean. I'm in Gulf Park, Louisiana. This beach is different than the beach we have in California, or in Southern California. Sand is really white. Water, it's really chilly right now. It's December. I'm not used to seeing flowers, plants like this on our beaches in Southern California. I am waking up and I wanted to walk you through how I set up my car to sleep in it. I just use a visor to close the front. Right now I'm doing a new thing. I'm using paper, black paper, to black out the windows, but I think I should reinforce it, make it a little bit more stiff. It'll work better. I try to keep everything in an organized place so I know where it is. Keep my glasses there. I keep my keys in the ignition. I keep my shoes and socks there. I also put trash down on the floor to be thrown away in the morning, because if it's right there by my feet when I go to drive the car, I know I need to get rid of it. It's a reminder. I'll go get some coffee right now at the truck stop. It's $1.79 for a new coffee, but if you get a refill, it's only like $1.19, I think, at Love's truck stop. In the middle of the night, if you want to charge one of your electronic devices up, you just turn on the electricity in your car and you can top off your cell phone. I keep things that I use very often, almost every day, up here by the passenger side. My SLR camera, my Nikon, my study bag, my computer, my notebook. I keep some teas up here so that as I'm driving, if I want to get some teas, it's easily accessible. I keep a lighter in the glove box. Keep water always in the same spot. I know where it's at in the middle of the night if I want water. And plastic bags. Oh, plastic bags are always very, very useful. I call this like my cold kit. It's a beanie, two gloves, and a scarf, just in case in the middle of the night. Down here, down south, I'm in Mississippi, it's not as freezing as it was in the Southwest desert where it was getting to like -7 below freezing. And sometimes in the middle of the night, if you misjudged it, it would start to get really cold. So it's nice to have that right there so I can grab it right away, even in the dark, and know where it's at. If you wanted to, when you lay down, get ready to go to sleep, you could play around on your computer, on your phone, or read or something like that. I'll download videos sometimes onto my phone on Wi-Fi so that when I get to the car I can listen to some music or watch a video without using my cell phone data. I usually don't though. I usually stay in a cafe or a place with Wi-Fi until like 10 o'clock at night. And then when I come out to the car to sleep, I'm usually ready to just go to sleep. What you're hearing is a truck stop. I'm at a truck stop in Gulfport, Mississippi. I don't know why my cell phone is not working out here. It stopped working at Jackson, Mississippi, so I'll have to figure that out. But there's enough space to read or listen to music or whatever if you want before you go to sleep. What you're looking at is the back seat of my Honda Civic folded forward. There's where the right portion locks and the left bigger portion locks and a smaller portion, and the seatbelt for the left rear passenger. I unlock it and I fold the seats forward, and I put my blankets going back into the trunk. You can either put your feet in the trunk or you can put your head down there in the trunk. If you're claustrophobic, you probably won't like putting your head in the trunk to sleep. I'm showing you the different layers of the blankets I have. I'll get in bed here and then I'll fold this over, fold this one over, and then fold this one over like that. On my left side, I keep a couple extra long sleeve things and some long sleeve bigger coats. And I keep my nicest coat here kind of hanging up so it doesn't wrinkle so much. And again, I like to keep it exactly where I know where it is, so in the middle of the night, if it gets cold, I can just reach to my left, put something on to get warmer, and I can also reach to the front seat to get my beanie, scarf, and gloves. I'm still not sure what to do about this. I do like the pillow idea to block out the back window. I wish they were black so it's not as noticeable. but I do like pillows because they kind of insulate too, and the back window is a big source of cold air. If there was a better way to secure these pillows though, sometimes they like to fall down. And again, I put black paper in the back windows. So my feet go all the way to the very end of the trunk. This is a Honda Civic 2002 LX. I'm 5'11". You could maybe fit 2 people in here side by side, but I should not have so much stuff in the back of the car. What's surprising, what's funny is every once in a while, if the temperature is just right and you get the blankets just right and you say you put some earplugs in, you'll wake up and you never woke up once during the night. And you'll even be kind of confused because you slept so good that you don't know where you're at, because usually you don't sleep that good in a car, but I have gotten it a couple times where I slept so good that I woke up confused because I was like, how did I sleep so good, but where am I? I'm in a car. It is possible to sleep really good. That's another thing that sleeping in your car teaches you about discipline and patience. If you do things right the first time, carefully, the next time and the next time, it will be a lot easier and require less effort. When you put your bed away, roll it up perfectly so that when it's time to sleep tonight, you can just unroll it and it's ready to go. Underneath, I keep some towels just to keep it softer, because you do have metal here and some bars in the back seat, and that would make it uncomfortable. Okay, everything is nicely packed away. You put your seats back. And there you go. Drink some of this tea. Same as coffee. It's from southern China. Comes in these little bricks. Also get free hot water in the truck stops. I put my paper away in my sun visor. Everything's nice and organized. Gonna go get some coffee. Then I gotta go to the bank today and go look at some of this scenery down here in the Gulf Coast. I like to wear my jacket sometimes so I look like a respectable vagabond. I look like a wino. Just do a little bit of reading before I go to the bank. Still a little bit early. Bank's not open yet. Whoops, just stepped on a pile of fire ants. Big mistake. I'm here at the Naval Aviation Museum in Pensacola, Florida, at the Naval Air Station. One of the coolest museums I've ever been to. I'm also a pilot, so it's going to be more cool to me. It's a free museum. The cool thing is that a lot of the aircraft are the actual aircraft that were involved in historical events, and they either refurbished them or they just still have the original aircraft and parked it here. For example, the first aircraft that was able to make it across the Atlantic, not Lindbergh, who was solo, but the other aircraft which had multiple pilots. Another thing I noticed here, as usual, is that I'm one of the youngest people. I retired because of the real estate. I don't have to work. I still work, but you know, I work differently than I used to. So I have a lot of free time, and it's a blessing. And this is why I do it, because if I was still working, I wouldn't have time to be able to really get into the history and really learn about us
American history the way I do now, and that's the blessing of it. And that's why I worked so hard before to save my money and purchase rental real estate, was because I wanted to have the free time to really get around and see what we're all about, and who am I, where am I going, and what does it mean to be an American, what does it mean to be a person living in the world. A lot of the people here are older, they're retired, and younger people my age, I'm 38, people who are my age, they're still working right now. They don't have this time to just come out and learn, and even more importantly, I would want to have my kids here and have my wife here, and I would want to spend all day here, not just an hour or two. When I was younger, my parents did a really good job of taking me many places in the motorhome, but mom and dad only had a little bit of time for vacation, so we couldn't spend all day in one place usually. So that's the blessing of being able to have freedom to make money with just email and phone calls, and everything can be done over the internet now. So I can spend all day somewhere and really, really enjoy it and really take my time. There's my car out there. It's going to be a rainy night tonight, which I like. I love the rain. I'm by Pensacola, Florida right now in a Starbucks to work on my financial plans. Kind of gets me back on track mentally. Make sure that I'm staying focused and know what's going on and what's going to happen after how many months and after how many years. Once you measure what you're doing and what's been happening with your life, then something magical happens where you can see everything laid out and you start to take everything more serious.
Oh, it's raining good. I love this. I love these nights.
I love this. It's raining good. You always sleep good. I love these. Just south of Pensacola. See, this whole road was backed up with people today at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, so I pulled over and did some studying, some planning. Now I get the whole road to myself. I just really can't stand traffic anymore. And anytime there's traffic, I refuse to drive in it. Just a waste of my life. So I try to time it that I'm driving when other people are off the roads. And if everyone is on the road, then I'm studying or something like that. Better use of my time. Oh, I love this. Just sitting here in the rain off the coast of Florida. Don't have any bedtime. Just enjoy the rain. I think I'll go get my car ready to sleep and listen to a little bit of music and probably not read. Feeling a little lazy to read. There are many truck stops I noticed along the beach in western Florida. So what I'll do is I'll usually stay in hotel parking lots. Just in case there's some sort of emergency, I could check in. But also there's lighting and security and stuff like that. So what I'll do now is I'll get the bed ready so that as soon as I pull in, I can put in my window shades and I don't have to be moving around a lot because I don't want people to notice me. I don't want to bother people. I just want to be able to park, close up, and go to bed, and nobody notices me. Wow, I wasn't expecting this. Along the coast of Florida, everything looked pretty and beautiful, and I guess Hurricane Ike came through here a couple months ago. I wasn't expecting to see this. I've never seen where a hurricane has hit the US before, the kind of damage it would do. A little different than what I'm used to, like in Asia. They get hurricanes a lot and they're pretty used to them. Better infrastructure, I guess. Checking out these forests on the northwest side of Florida. Different kinds of trees, different kinds of plants. Southeast of Panama City, Florida, along Highway 98. Like the scenic route. It's beautiful, different kinds of forests that I'm used to in California. See a mixture of like pine needles and palm trees, and then white sand and ocean right next to each other. It's
down south in Florida now. Got my coffee. Cruise control. Love this. This is why I try to stay off the roads during the day, because people are crashing and they're fighting and they're angry and they're crazy. I prefer to do long stretches of nothing to look at during the night. You can just relax, cruise control. I am on 75 South in Florida, and my hour trip to the cafe became hour and 45-minute trip to the cafe. Okay, I'm stopped, gonna get some boba and use the Wi-Fi. Today's gonna be more of a study day, not much of a driving day. I really want to get a good 8 hours of just sitting down and reading and studying.
Always have some baby wipes in case you need to freshen up.
So you see my window shades up. Pretty good system. I wish the front could be black too though. Sleeping next to a highly explosive propane tank. I'm in Tampa, Florida. Gonna go check out the beaches, but it's cloudy, but it's not too cold, that's okay. 62 is a good speed on this Honda Civic because it's a nice acoustic sound. The tires, it's slow enough that I can really look around, enjoy the scenery. The car is not, vibrating or anything like that. Once you get up to 70, you start to sense little vibrations and stuff. We have arrived at Clearwater Beach, Florida. Take a shower over there at the shower. Use the salt water and the salt and the sand to just really exfoliate your whole body, because you've been sitting in the car for a long time. That's not good for you. Your skin's not being worn down or polished. I'll do a little bit of exercise and get some friction here with the sand and do some calisthenics, some push-ups, and roll around a little bit, some stretches. See, I could tell I've forgotten how to fall, how to roll. Because we normally don't roll very much, That's we don't play like we used to when we were kids. So I wanted to make sure my body can always hop around, jump around, and roll, so that when I roll later, you don't get hurt. Like when I crashed my bicycle in Beijing, it was kind of an automatic response to roll when I hit that scooter with the bicycle. Never forget, when you have a fresh, rinsed pair of underwear, that's the best time to dust off your car. Wow, it's beautiful here. It's a little bit different style than California's beaches. Came to see these manatee. I guess they like the warm water coming from this power plant, so they created a protected area for them. You can see the little dots on their back. I don't mind people that drive slow. That doesn't bother me. But what bothers me is when you don't use cruise control and your speed keeps fluctuating. That makes it hard for me to just cruise behind you. So I have to keep readjusting my speed. So it's not that people drive slow, it's that their speed fluctuates. I need consistency if I'm going to be cruising behind you.
that makes my driving easier. Time to get my oil changed. I like Valvoline. They're quick, consistent. Sometimes get a free coffee. I am in Orlando, Florida now. I love it when it turns out perfect like this. Woke up in Tampa. Got to take my time. A quick little hour and 20-minute drive to Orlando. Get my oil changed. And then have lunch in Orlando. Check it out. Just a quick little drive from Orlando to Daytona Beach. So in the day in Daytona Beach. May or may not sleep there. You might go out of town a little bit so that you wake up in the fourth town. Wake up in A, have lunch in B, have nighttime in C, and then wake up at D, so that you're ready to spend you get the most use out of your time. Almost no traffic and good weather. Got to see the manatees. That's interesting. Well, we made it to Daytona Beach, Florida. My first time to the Atlantic Ocean while on the United States. The sand's different. It's very fine sand. Different birds that I'm not used to. I will say this is a very nice beach for walking. It's a very beachy beach, shallow water. Everyone can play in it. You can even park your car. They wanted $20 to park on the beach. No thank you. I think I'll just walk. Would have been a great photo opportunity, but I'll just park for free and walk. I love to get cold, get really cold, knowing that I'm going to get back to the car and the car is going to get you warm. The psychology of that, of being really uncomfortable, but knowing that once you can get back to the car, you're going to get warmed up and you'll be okay. It's something about the machine, knowing that the machine will take care of you, or I can't explain it. Same thing with the airplane. I like it when you fly the airplane and outside it's raining and storming, but inside the airplane you're paying attention to the smallest electronic detail. You're looking at a small little screen, even though outside is so stormy. Here we are pulling into another Love's truck stop. Sometimes Love, sometimes Pilot. Flying J. Got Wi-Fi and food and gas and places to sit, work on your computer, people to talk to from all over the country, showers, stuff like that, souvenirs. Well, I was not expecting that. I was going to head northwest out of the Daytona Beach area, but they're having a rocket launch this morning down at Cape Canaveral, so I'm headed down south. I'm just keeping it at a constant speed, 58 miles an hour, cruise control. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, no people on the road, so it makes it easy for me to keep the speed constant. So I had just left Daytona Beach. I was already headed northwest, and I started reading about the history of Florida, and I came across Cape Canaveral again, and I forgot that Cape Canaveral is over here. I just happened to see some news pop up talking about Cape Canaveral and that there was going to be a launch. Checked the launch schedule, found out that there was going to be a launch of a SpaceX rocket in 9 hours. So I backtracked, headed back the other way, and now I'm down here and there should be a launch in about 3 hours. I just had to pay $10 to get into the state park just north of Cape Canaveral. Well, they canceled the rocket launch. It may or may not come back tomorrow. But the one thing I did notice was some people, this may be their only time to come watch the rocket launch. Or what if they were on vacation, this was the one day, and they brought their kids and this was going to be it, and they were going to go back home, go back to work after this, but then they canceled it. So that's why I'm so passionate about financial education so that people can have the freedom to really just take their time and enjoy things, and the kids can really enjoy it and see something really cool, and you don't have to be like, oh, it's canceled, we wasted the morning, we don't get to see the rocket launch, my kids won't know what the rocket launch will look like. So it's not about money, it's about having the freedom and the options to really enjoy wonderful, cool things. Just went into the Walmart to get some more food. I really need to be eating better. When you are out on the road, you eat a lot of fast food and waffles and burritos and stuff like that. It's not really good. Since I came back from Vietnam, my body is not liking that. And now that I've felt what good feels like, now I don't like to go back to eating the crap that we eat in America. So I got grapefruit, bananas, and this stuff. And so hopefully I'll just put it in front of me so that as I'm driving, I have no choice but to nibble on it as I'm driving. In Georgia now. Just about to Savannah, Georgia. Just so much dense history up and down this coast, and we've only been here for like 500 years. And could you imagine like the Native American history, and then could you imagine a place like China where it's like 5,000 years of history? It's just history on top of history on top of history. It's so dense, so many small interesting things to learn. I'm in Savannah, Georgia. On the other side of the river is South Carolina and Georgia here. They said from this port, the first steamship sailed across the Atlantic Ocean in 27 days. And I just realized this is a serious port, big ships. And I'm going to start heading back towards Los Angeles and try to get back to LA before Christmas on the 25th. Just leaving Savannah, Georgia, headed westbound towards Tuskegee. I like leaving cities at the nighttime because it adds to the feeling of the end of something. So you'll go to a city that you've heard about for so many years, you finally see it, you walk around, you really get a taste of it, and then the night comes, you eat some food, and then you leave. And I like that feeling of closure. I'm waking up. Today I'm going to go see where the Tuskegee Airmen trained. I love it, waking up in the rain. It makes you sleep better. This is cool at Moton Field, M-O-T-O-N, at the Tuskegee Airmen Museum. Up at the control tower. At Moton Field, M-O-T-O-N, where the Tuskegee Airmen trained. I think this is hangar number 2. They have a Piper Cub in there and another airplane. It's a biplane. They got hangar 1. You can go up into the control tower. This is why I'm so passionate about financial education, because wow, you get to come here and you're like, this is the airport where history was made, and you get to actually come to the places, and it's different. It's different when you actually come to the place. It doesn't have the same impact if you just read about it. If you come here, now you go back to your home airport and you fly your airplane and you're just like, wow, look, I was there and I saw it. So it's gonna be so much more significant to you if you can actually come here and see where the history took place. I just washed my hair. So basically, if this was a company and I was a CEO, I'm saying we're gonna get educated, we're gonna learn, but we're not gonna spend a lot of money doing it. We're not gonna burn our resources on a hotel and a rental car and stuff like that. I probably spent, to come see this, probably cost me $15, because let's just say I could have driven in a straight line, but I went off the road, so I spent a little bit of gas money. I'm going to eat in the area,
So instead of something being a $50 day to rent a hotel, let's say rent a car, that's another $50 instead of a $100 day to come see where the Tuskegee Airmen trained. It ended up costing me like 15. So what is that, like 85% savings? So that percentage, that's a very big percentage. 85% save, that's like huge savings, but maximum return on life and learning and experience. I don't know, shit, $10 for a Waffle House breakfast. I could save a couple of those, just buy my own waffle maker, buy my own batter, plug it into an outlet somewhere, make my own waffles. I'm in downtown Montgomery, Alabama. I just saw the Rosa Parks bus stop, and just every once in a while you'll come across a big city where there are just a lot of vacant units and for lease. I bet you in a couple of years this will be up and coming, like in LA where they're developing the arts district. There's the Alabama State Capitol down there. Be exciting to see if in a couple of years these downtowns to some of these cities don't explode and develop like downtown LA is doing right now. So look at that, Birmingham, Alabama. Everyone's getting off of work. You want to be going into the city after people have gone to the city or when they're leaving the city. You don't want to get caught in the traffic. This is what I love. I'm at the University of Alabama Birmingham Library, and I was gonna check out Birmingham, and I kind of get here and can't really find anything I'd like to check out, so I'll start heading northwest, head towards Memphis. I can see the Hotel Lorraine where MLK was shot. I've seen Graceland from the outside, but I could just pass through Memphis tonight. It's about 3.5 hours away. But I like to just kind of go until you get tired. I love that feeling of just go until you get tired. And I'm gonna go find a Starbucks real quick, download some things to my phone so I can listen to them while I'm driving. And when I get tired, I'll stop. It'll either be just outside of Memphis so I can wake up and see Memphis, or it'll be just outside of Little Rock so I can wake up and see Little Rock. Little Rock's gonna have good weather tomorrow apparently, so I can see where the Little Rock 9 went to school when they were not allowed to go to school because they were black. Also wanted to just really see the city of Little Rock. I've never been there in Arkansas. I was on my way to Little Rock, pulled off, and here's the Parkin Archaeological State Park, P-A-R-K-N. It's just interesting. They're talking about how the Indians, they've been trading here for 600 years. And that's like 3 times longer than the United States has even been a country. So it's just interesting to put everything in perspective, and it reminds you of your place in history. There's the Chief's Mound over there. There was a group of Indians here, and then another group of Indians to the northeast, part of the early Mississippi. They call them the Mississippians, early Mississippi societies. On my way to Little Rock. Oh, Highway 40 right there. It's always fun to play the game. Where am I gonna wash my hair today? So this is not the Mississippi River. Mississippi River is over there, but this river, I forgot the name of it. They flood the fields for growing whatever it is that they grow here. It got down to freezing last night. 1 degree centigrade. I'm in Ozark, Arkansas. People forget that this is basically just camping. It's actually better than a tent. Tent, you'd be wet and you'd smell like dirt, be all grimy and stuff like that, but with the car you're protected from the elements. It's safer. Things are dry. Last night was cold, but I slept pretty good. Just cleaning it up. Also, I can still have my privacy. Last night I just ate some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Sick and tired of these
$10 meals at these truck stops.
Almost Amarillo, Texas. So New Mexico wins the new Where Am I Gonna Wash My Hair Next award. This is cool. So Billy the Kid was around here in a store and a tavern with two of his guys, and they were surrounded by a posse of three. One of them, one of the deputies, was accidentally killed. The other two tried to negotiate the outlaws' surrender. Billy the Kid wouldn't surrender, so the two that were still alive of the posse, they escaped unharmed. It is so quiet here, it feels like your ears are sucked into your head. Well, I was gonna try to get in and see the White Sands National Park. You got the mountains, you got the white sand dunes here in southern New Mexico with desert, just so it's a little bit beautiful and a little bit unique too. Up the road there, I was gonna try to do the Trinity test site where they did the first atomic bomb, but it was gonna be 30 miles of dirt road one way and then 30 miles out. And for all I know, probably the same thing would have happened. I mean, I would have probably got out there and the gates locked or something like that. So I'll just wrap up my trip back to my family's house in SoCal. Just kind of cruise back to California. Think about this. In a million years, none of it will exist. The sun will have engulfed the earth. I think by that time we'll be on other planets, interstellar space. But I wonder how many of these species we will have cataloged and taken with us. Probably find some way to catalog this stuff and take it with us and reproduce it. But there's just so much, I wonder how they'll do that. But I'm sure by that point we'll have the technology for preserving large amounts of organic material. They'll probably have museums for the types of rocks that we used to have on Earth. So that's why you need to travel and look around and have time to just think about things. If you're in the office all day, maybe you forget about stuff like that. But then when you're out here and you realize how small you are compared to everything. Even my grandchildren's grandchildren's grandchildren will be just a tiny speck in the history of